This is 7.6, page 366 in your book for the 7th grade. Write that up there, page 366. So we're going to solve inequalities in this. An inequality is, Pen, where are you? Hello, there it is. An inequality is a less than, greater than, less than or equal, and greater than or equal. So an inequality has more than one answer. So, well, here's the solution to an inequality. The solution is an inequality is the answer that the number, let's do it that way, I lost my pen again, number that makes it true. Okay, and the thing about inequalities is it can be more than one. Because if the answer is all the numbers greater than 3, well, there's a ton of numbers greater than 3. Okay? Graph of an inequality. A graph of an inequality is shown on a number line, and we will do those. And equivalent inequalities are inequalities that are kind of a weird concept to be. Equivalent inequalities are inequalities that have the same solution. Okay? So let's do some of these. First off, graphing inequalities. This is about the easiest graphing you will ever do. I need all of the numbers. X is less than 2. So the graphs of those are on a number line. So you just put a couple numbers in. You don't have to put a whole bunch. You locate the number on the number line and you circle it where it is. Less than goes to the left. So it's all the numbers that way. So you just show them. You don't, obviously you can't graph all, you can't write them all out. But the arrow is indicating it goes to the left forever. And that's your graph. That's it. So x is less than or equal to -1. So again, you go 0, -1, -2. You circle it. Now when it says it's equal to it, you now color it in. If it's not equal to it, you leave it an open circle like we did on number 2. So less than -1, they all go that way. Okay, so you have the closed circle if it's equal to, the open circle if it's not. X is greater than 0. There's a portion I know. Circle it. You don't color it in because it doesn't say equal. Greater now says it goes this way. X is greater than or equal to -2. -1, -2. So you circle the -2, color it in. Greater than or equal is that way. Now, example number 2, solving inequalities. We have been, the last few lessons, we've been solving equations. Now we're going to solve inequalities. The only difference in these is the sign. The ones we've been solving had an equal sign. Now you have this inequality. So what all you do is you still get the letter by itself. So you see the D, you still want to get rid of that -2. So you're going to add 2 and you still do it to both sides. And so D is less than or equal to 3. And then you graph it. 0, 1, 2, 3. You circle it, color it in, and then less than goes that way. So you're still solving them the same way, and then you just deal with the sign. The answer is presented differently by being able to graph it, because there's more than one answer. Okay? And then it's just saying you can pick a number less than it and try it, put it into the equation, and see if it works. Okay, so we're going to get the x by itself, so you just add 3. Add 3, those cancel out. X is greater than or equal to -1 plus 3 is 2. So 0, 1, 2, circle the 2, color it in because it's equal. Greater than, it goes this way. Now let's pick a number greater than 2. Let's try 3. So we'll put 3 in. 3 minus 3 is 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to -1? Yep, it's greater than -1, so we know it works. And there's our graph. This one, T, we wanted the T by itself, so you add 5. Add 5. I get 11 is less than T. So if 11 is less than t, t has to be greater than 11. And I always like the letter on the left-hand side, so you just have to flip everything around, which then you would have to flip the sign. So there's where 11 is, greater than 11 would go that way. Okay, again, solve the inequality, so we're going to minus 9, w is less than negative 13. You could just boom, boom that. You should be getting pretty good at those. Negative 13, negative 12, negative 14. Circle, don't color it in. Less than is that way. We're going to minus 7, get that k by itself. So negative 6 is less than or equal to k. So k is greater than or equal to negative 6. We can reverse that around. So we go negative 6, negative 5, negative 7. Circle and color in because it's equal to, and it's greater than. Their graphs are a lot better than mine, aren't they? Okay, solving an inequality. Now, in this case right here, this one, if you say it out loud, it's negative 4 times w. Well, what's the opposite of timesing by negative 4? It's to divide by negative 4. So those cancel out. Now, here's just a special little rule, and it's written over on the side. I don't remember if we've done these before, but over on the side on example number 3, it says avoid errors. Don't forget to reverse the inequality when you multiply or divide each side of an inequality by a negative number. Negatives do funny things to things, to inequalities, so you have to flip the sign whenever you have to solve it by a negative. So then it would be w is greater than negative 5. So there's negative 5, circle it. So let's pick a number greater than negative 5. 0. So we'll try 0. 4 times 0 is 0. Is 0 less than 20? Yes. So we know we're right. And you just have to remember to flip the sign. And you only flip it when you multiply or divide by a negative to get a letter by itself. So this is negative 3 times n. The opposite is to divide by negative 3. So we cancel out n, you flip the sign because of the negative, dividing by the negative, and you get 8. So n is greater than, or excuse me, less than or equal to 8. So you color it in. That's a pretty primitive graph, isn't it? There's not a lot there. So this time we divide by 6 to solve it. Now here we are not dividing by a negative, so you do not flip the sign on that one. So that's probably the worst part, is remembering when do I flip the sign, when do I not flip the sign. This one is just like we did in the last lesson. You have a fraction with the letter, so you multiply by the reciprocal, which is negative, 2 over 1. Negative 2 over 1. So multiply by negative 2 over 1. By multiplying by that negative, we have to flip the sign, and the answer is negative 10. So the negative half of negative 10 is positive 5. 5 is equal to 5, and so we're right. And then there'll be the graph. I'll quit. The graphs are easy. Okay, multiply by the reciprocal, 4 over 3, multiply by 4 over 3, cancel. R is greater than 16, no negative, so don't have to worry about flipping any signs there. Divide by 5, divide by 5, z is greater than negative 2. We didn't solve anything with a negative, so that's right. Seems like a lot of these. Okay, divide by negative 6 to get the a by itself. A, we flip the sign because we divided by a negative, and a is less than 3. Yeesh, more. Multiply by 5 over 1, the reciprocal. This cancels out. K is less than or equal to 60, and we don't flip any signs. This one, multiply by negative 3 halves, multiply by negative 3 halves because we need those to cancel out. This time we flip the sign. Cancel negative 12. B is greater than or equal to negative 12. Alright, so there's some inequalities solved the same way, graphing the answers, and then don't forget to reverse your signs. So we will see you next time.